Hey everybody, good morning from Northern Illinois. I'm Rita Hickman and I'm a body mind expert and a shiatsu massage therapist, and I do these live streams Monday through Friday, 8:15 a.m. and we talk about all sorts of ways to look at the world, body mind tools, how you work, understanding all of those topics, how to navigate tough things like, repairing family relationships or getting ready for retirement, or finding opportunity if you own your own business, or starting your own business. Hey, Kathy, great to see you. And Hannah Lisa is here too. How wonderful. So today, we've been talking about Eben Pagan's book Opportunity. And so today the topic is how to get out of your own way. And one of the things that Eben talks about, so I'll start with his story, it makes it a little bit easier. His story is that he went into a grocery store, he was traveling and went into a grocery store at, just before it was closing. And they'd already restocked everything. And so all of the fruits and the vegetables were piled high and glossy and beautiful and, hey, Svalin, and just perfect. And it ended up being a metaphor for himself. Hey, Juanita, for that abundance and opportunity is everywhere. Now, in this kind of field that we talk about, law of attraction is a really big deal. And especially after The Secret came out and when metaphysical movies were a little bit bigger. In fact, this weekend, I'm going to the Hay House Conference in Chicago, Celebrate Your Life. And I've been to it before in Denver. And that's all about things like, hey, George, it's all about things like law of attraction and setting your thoughts for what you want and being able to achieve it. Now, that's wonderful. But it also reminded me of a friend of mine who was shopping for a car, and he was a metaphysical teacher, and he owned his own school. And he said, you know what, when I took a step back and opened my parameters kind of for what I was looking for, then I could attract the perfect car that I wanted, the perfect thing that I was looking for. And it's the same thing with all those fruits and vegetables and an opportunity everywhere. We need to be looking for it. We need to recognize that opportunity is in all sorts of crazy places if we let our mind open a little bit to it. If we stop holding on so tightly to what something has to look like, the perfect relationship or the perfect guy, or, what if there's all of these components and all of these elements that you, with your 2 to 3 tablespoons of conscious gray matter, just can't comprehend? Hey, Yogi, good to see you. So what if the opportunity that you're looking at might not be exactly what you're trying to attract, what your whole list or your vision board or whatever looked like, but what if it's got benefits and opportunities you couldn't have even imagined? Most of the times I don't do the whole law of attraction thing. I don't set down in my mind exactly what I want. Instead, I keep my goal in mind, kind of a bigger goal. Happy Friday to you too, George. So I'll say I'll keep a bigger goal. I'll keep something that's larger, maybe. Like, I want to have a successful business that fulfills me and brings me a lot of joy in my life, and I'll keep that as the goal instead of it has to look like ABC or XYZ. I've got a friend of mine who has been through many different careers. She's been a photojournalist, she's been an author, she's had an online eBay store, now she does dog search and rescue, because she kept reinventing herself. Whenever she kind of got stuck, she kept in mind her bigger goal, her bigger idea, which was to live a happy, fulfilled, well-rounded, loving life, filled with friends and family and feeling good about herself. And as long as she kept that goal in mind, it gave her the courage to look for new opportunities, to get out of her own way, to reinvent herself in so many different ways. A lot of times, what gets in our way is the fact that we're stressed out. And our mind is obsessing, going around and around, trying to figure out, what's the solution? How am I going to get there? How will I figure it out? Oh, no. And if you think of it as a mindset, as a state of mind and a state of body, and if you do things that help you relax, if you do things that help you get back in touch with uh, a bigger paradigm, let's say, then you will see the solution. I used to say that magically the solution would appear, but what I truly realized is that we cannot see it. There's opportunities around us, there's solutions around us, there's ideas, mind-blowing ideas, that because we're stressed out, because we're tired, because we're in that obsessive pattern of trying to solve it and figure it out, that we cannot see the answer. It's literally in front of us. We can't see the opportunity, we can't see the solution, we can't see the path. All we can see are those 3 or 4 thoughts. Now, Hannah Lisa makes a really good point. She says the universe wants to give you so much more than you can comprehend. And that is really true. Hey, Carolyn. There's opportunity, there is abundance, there's stuff that's everywhere around you. And if you stay open to reinventing yourself, and you stay open to looking at things from a slightly different angle, and you do a good job of taking care of yourself so that you can stay in that relaxed, creative, open space, then you will see the path. The path will be made clear. It's already there. Where you want to go, the opportunities that you need, the ideas, the solutions, they are there. You need to find them, and the only way to find them is to calm down and see with a different set of eyes. And that's what all of these different mental models we've been going through these last few weeks are about, that are in Evan's book, Opportunity. These mental models let you look at a situation through a different set of eyes. They look at it through this piece of wise advice, which is, you need to be a risk taker. And this other piece of wise advice, which is you need to keep doing things that move you in the direction you want to go. So instead of saying you have to be one or the other, you get to hold up, kind of like when they're checking your eyes, at the eye doctor. You need to hold up a different lens and say, what does that opportunity look like through this lens, through this piece of advice? What does the opportunity look like if I want to be a risk taker and I know risks will move me forward? So only after you've looked at situations in a relaxed space through a lot of different angles will you be able to see the answer. You don't see the answer because it comes down from heaven and there's going to be a light shining on it. You see the answer because you're curious, because you're relaxed, because you're open to things which might not be exactly what you thought they might be. You're open to something that's creative. Maybe you just follow your gut and you said, you know what, I'm really scared about this. When I moved from my old office to my new office, I tripled my rent. I had no clue, no idea how I was going to pay that rent. But studies and research and spiritual wisdoms, hey Camilla, and all of those show that when you have when you put yourself in a position where you need to motivate yourself, where you need to find a solution, you find a solution. If you want something to work, then you do everything that's possible to make it work, including relaxing, opening your mind to new opportunities, letting yourself look at the world through many different perspectives. You start asking questions, you start researching, you say, this is who I want to be. I wonder where the solution is. I wonder where the answer is. Instead of staying stuck in the, should I go for this, should I not go for this? Instead of staying in that one, almost like your computer, yes, no, good, bad. Instead, you take that time, you meditate, you take a bath, you breathe in, you give yourself some space. You trust in the process and the idea that the opportunity and the path is there. You just don't see it yet. You just don't see what you need to be doing. And when you relax, you will see it. You'll know exactly the next step that you need to take. That will be obvious to you. So instead of thinking that someone else is going to give you an answer magically from the skies because you created a vision board that looks specifically like the relationship and the house and the car and the job and everything that you want to look like, instead of thinking that it's going to come down like manna from heaven, realize it's already here. Your opportunities are already standing in front of you to make your biggest impact in the world, to do the thing you're meant to do, to create the relationships you want to create. Maybe you're not supposed to create it with the person that you're with. It doesn't mean it's not possible. These are the beliefs that get in our way. And if we start to realize and practice recognizing the things that we have in our life that are opportunities for us, that we could choose to follow or choose not to follow, when we have that faith, it gives us a lot more groundedness. It's kind of like when you're sitting at a crossroads and you realize if you turn left, you'll have benefits that way. If you turn right, you'll have benefits that way. And then asking yourself, almost like when you were a kid, what would it be like if the car turned into a spaceship and I went up instead? What would the world look like if I went up? What would the world look like if I went down? What if I went sideways? What if I could do all of them? Sort of like Willy Wonka's elevator, you know, in the Johnny Depp version where the elevator could go anywhere and everywhere, you know, or actually in the original version. I love that one too. Start thinking, instead of thinking you have to turn left or right, realize you can go up, down, through, maybe to a different dimension, maybe to a different state of mind, and all of those are true. You don't have to hold on to them literally, you know, as if I'm looking at the tree, and by looking at the tree and thinking of the wind blowing, the wind's going to come and blow the leaves. You know, that's a little bit too far out there for me. Maybe that's true, maybe that's not. But if you wanted the leaves to blow, you could get a leaf blower. You could go up to the tree and blow the leaves yourself. You could live in a place that's windy, where it's pretty predictable the wind's going to, you know, blow the tree. You could look for the leaves to move on a day where the weather is meant to move the leaves. Do you see what I mean? You have a lot of influence and a lot of choices in the direction that you go. You don't have to have an opportunity to have a big spotlight on it. It's already right there and obvious. Your job is to relax enough, to calm down enough that you can look at a situation with clarity so you can see the path. You can look at the situation through a lot of different lenses, a lot of different perspectives, and you can keep your mind open about what it's supposed to look like. Okay? So your homework assignment today is to take one situation. Maybe it's whether you're going to have coffee or tea. Maybe it's whether which route you're going to take to work. And ask yourself, is there another way? I did that the other day, actually. I was driving to work, and I said, you know what? I'm going to turn right on this street. I know it's going to take me down. It's going to take me a little bit of a jog, but it doesn't get in my way. And I'm going to take a little bit different route. And by taking that route, I got to see something different, be inspired by different beauty and nature and sights and scenes, and have a different experience. Think outside your box from right to left or up or down. And instead keep that open-mindedness for one problem you have today and say, you know, what could I do that would be outside the box and give me a different experience? And when you start making that as a habit of what you do with the small things, then it's so much more comfortable to do it with the big things, okay? So, like, share, comment, and do your homework assignment, which is when you think you only have a couple choices, coffee or tea, ask yourself, do I have any other options like chicory coffee or water? Or, you know, what else could be warm? I have a client of mine, every time she comes in, she'd like hot water. And she drinks hot water. And I thought, you know what? That would be just as good as tea. It would be nice and warm, and it would be water. And I didn't have to doctor it up or, you know, have any weird additives or anything like that. You know, so stop for a moment and think that you can look a little bit differently. Thanks, Carolyn. Carolyn says, thank you for your message. Sharing with me as granddaughter who lost her mother and then her home. Yeah. We all have these tough things that happen to us. I've got some friends who are struggling with some big things right now. But when we keep our minds open to opportunities and possibilities, and we stay in as grounded, calm place as we can, then we can see the next step and know what we need to be doing next. That's our intuition. Okay. Oh, you're going to be sharing with your granddaughter. Cool. Perfect. All right, so I hope you have a great rest of your day. I will see you Monday. I'm looking forward to it. Hope the weather's good. We'll be outside again. And try out your homework assignment today. Share, like, comment on other people's stuff, and have a great day. Bye.